Today we're going to give you 3 reasons as to why we are no longer full-time RVing and we are now on a homestead. My name is Michael.
And my name's Taylor.
And welcome to Mountaintop Homestead. Today we're going to give you 3 reasons as to why we are no longer full-time RVing and we are now on a homestead.
So we've had a lot of people ask us, are you guys still traveling? Are you still full-time in the RV? And today we are going to answer those questions and tell you why.
So living the RV life was one of the most amazing experiences we've ever had. We got to see 36 national parks. We camped off-grid 90% of the year, and we met some absolutely amazing people. So we think it's important that we kind of give you guys a little bit of our backstory because we haven't exactly had a normal life.
No.
We've done things very backwards from a lot of people. So, a lot of people work their whole entire life, and then they retire when they're older, and then they go travel and go vacation, and, they go full-time RV and go see America.
Yeah.
We've kind of done that in reverse.
Yeah.
We got to see pretty much all of America. Definitely all the highlights, some of the most beautiful places in America. But we have a lot of experience with full-time RVing, and we want you guys to know that because it plays a key role in our decision to start a homestead.
So when we got married several years ago, we made it a goal that we wanted to be debt-free our entire marriage. We didn't want to get a mortgage or a loan to have to buy vehicles or land, and that was a dream of ours to be able to buy a piece of land and build a house without a mortgage.
So shortly after we first got married, one of our side hustles took off. It pretty much took over my full-time job and Taylor's full-time job, and we worked it together as a team. So we would go and work trade shows on the weekends, and it got to where we were only home about 7 days a week. Yeah. And I think we were spending close to $2,000 to $3,000 a month on hotel fees.
Yeah, on top of rent.
Yeah, so it only made sense for us to buy a used truck and RV and go full-time. And going full-time in a truck and RV actually saved us money. So full-time RV life for us was more so about saving money and allowing us to get to a place to where we can have a homestead.
Yeah.
So, it was the end goal from the very beginning. Yeah. So it kind of worked out.
And we got to travel and see America in the process.
Exactly. So it was a blessing.
It was a win-win.
Yeah, it was a blessing. And then we took our trade show business and we just done trade shows where we wanted to go see and what places we wanted to go see in America.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to go to Arizona or we wanted to go see the Grand Canyon, we would find trade shows in Arizona or out towards near the Grand Canyon that we could go do and make some money at. Mm-hmm. And we were fairly successful with our trade shows, so we were able to make money and travel at the same time. We got to see some really amazing. What's like one of the most favorite places you got to see?
Glacier National Park.
Glacier National Park.
We love the mountains in general. It's kind of Homestead Mountaintop Adventures.
Yep.
Kind of goes along with that. So just honestly being in the mountains, getting to spend a lot of time in Colorado and of course Montana and Glacier.
Yeah.
And
so the trade show business was like a double whammy for us. We got to save money and we got to travel and see all these amazing places and video all of it, because one day we want our kids to be able to look back and see what mom and dad did and give them something to aspire to.
Yeah. So our number one reason for wanting to stop full-time RVing and start a homestead is because of stability.
Big time.
When you are camping off-grid and you usually have to move every 2 weeks to a month, it's really hard for you to get into a routine, into a rhythm.
It's constantly up and down. And when you move constantly, you're constantly breaking things.
Yeah. Well, and you gotta dump the tanks because eventually your black tank's gonna fill up. Yep. And you got to get water because your fresh water is going to run out.
The fridge is so small.
Yeah, the fridge is small. So you have to go grocery shopping all the time. And that's another thing. You can't provide your own food if you're constantly moving. You know, there's a lot of people that live at RV parks and they have little container gardens because they're there, you know, for several months at a time. But, you know, for us, we weren't doing that. So we had to go to the grocery store to
We
get
didn't
our
get to
food.
live that lifestyle, and we didn't have one of these huge fifth wheel RVs
No.
with these double door refrigerators. Like, it didn't work that way for us. It was
little bitty fridge.
there was not a lot of stability in our life at the time. We had to get up and go. We were doing 2 to 3 trade shows a month. So on Thursday we would have to be at the trade show
to set up,
and then it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or sometimes it was a 12-day show or however many days it was. And then we would have to tear down and we would have to leave and go somewhere else. And we would have X amount of days to hang out somewhere else and go hiking and see beautiful national parks, and then go do it all over again. So we were just bouncing around like little rabbits all over America. I mean, we were all over the place.
Yeah. No, not everybody RVs like that, but for us to make money on the road, that's how we had to do it. Obviously, if we stayed at RV parks more, we would have more stability, but you're so crammed in there with hundreds of other people, so it's not.
I think that's another thing to bring up concerning stability is when Rona or COVID happened, everything went crazy.
Yeah.
Like the RV industry, the RV sales went up over 1,000% because people couldn't travel outside of America. So our normal RV boondocking places that we've been staying at and going back to over the course of 3 years, where there used to be 1 or 2 people there.
Yeah.
There was, how many people you would say, like 10, 15, 20 different people,
oh my
RVs
gosh,
there?
It was crazy. Like usually places that we would go boondocking that you could guarantee you would always find a spot. No, it's not like that anymore.
Yeah,
like you better get there at the crack of dawn when people are leaving. It better not be on a weekend. It's just crazy stuff.
And the national parks.
The national parks got crazy. You know, now you have to get tickets to get into a lot of the bigger ones, and it's just not really enjoyable anymore.
Yeah, so having a homestead gives us the stability that we were longing for. And I really feel like being on the road taught us how to be grateful for stability. It really made us long for that stability. So when we got our homestead, when we purchased it, I think we were that much more grateful.
Yeah. And there's a certain level of peace now that we have having the homestead, because now we can go travel whenever we want.
Yeah.
And we can go for however long we want and come back. We have people that can take care of our animals and watch our property for us. And when we're done, we can just come back and have our little quiet life here in the country.
Yeah, something else that was kind of hard in the RV life as far as stability goes is you're always worried about your RV. So every time you leave, me and Taylor, we have Black Card Planet Fitness memberships when we were full-time RVing, and in order to save water in the RV, we would go to Planet Fitness and we would take showers.
Yeah.
So we would get up in the morning, we would go work out, and we would take a shower. That way we saved water in the RV and we were able to last that much longer off-grid. But while you're out on the road, your RV is parked on this boondocking place, which is sometimes known for some
sketchy stuff,
sketchy people, some riffraff. And you always worried about your stuff. I had security cameras set up on the RV just because of it. But having a homestead, I feel like we really don't have that issue. We have great neighbors.
Yeah.
We live in an awesome area out in the backwoods of Tennessee.
We still have security cameras, but...
Yeah, we do. But, I mean, your neighbors watch out for you. If somebody drives down the road that doesn't live on this road, more than likely one of your neighbors are going to be looking out the window, writing down their tag number or something. So we live in a great area now. We definitely have that stability with the homestead.
And now we'll talk about reason number 2, self-sufficiency.
I think we've kind of covered some of this already, but being in an RV is not exactly the most self-sufficient idea versus being on a homestead.
Yeah.
Being in an RV, man, especially when COVID hit, everything got locked down. Being self-sufficient in an RV is probably not going to happen.
No.
You can do it if you have a homestead and you place your RV on a homestead.
Yeah.
That's different. Then you're not full-time RVing anymore. You're in an RV full-time on a homestead. And I think
you're living in an RV.
You're living in an RV. I think that's different, though. I think there's a difference between full-time RVing and living in an RV on a plot of land or in an RV park, even in one spot year round. You're not traveling. Full-time RVing, the heart, in my opinion, would you agree, is traveling?
I 100% agree. It's traveling. There's definitely a difference between living in an RV and
correct
and full-time
yeah
RVing.
If you just live in an RV, you're not full-time RVing, and there's no offense to nobody. But full-time RVing is when you have the ability to go travel and see America, and you are RVing. It's a recreational vehicle. If you're just living in an RV to save money, that's great. We did that for a long time. That's how we saved up to buy our property.
Something else too is that our food system in America is completely broken. It's very broken. You go in the grocery store and most things are highly processed, which isn't really even food. It's just a bunch of ingredients that aren't made in factories and, with a little bit of food in them and, and
zero nutrition. The
Whole Foods, the actual vegetables and fruits are heavily sprayed with chemicals, even organic, and you're not really getting real food. And that was something that has been a passion of ours for a long time. We tried to buy organic as much as possible on the road. Of course, it's more expensive, but our health is hugely important to us, and not being able to know where your food's coming from, what's in your food, is something really concerning to us, especially now that we have children. And that was another reason why we always desired to grow and provide our own food.
Be self-sufficient.
And be self-sufficient. And even if we don't grow it here, we source it locally. And that's something else you can't really do on the road. You can't make that connection with your community to get things locally.
Yeah, and I think that's really important. We have neighbors that we get our beef off of. We slaughter our own cows. We have meat goats. We have dairy goats. We have our own chickens that we do for meat and for eggs. We have rabbits. So we are able to grow, I don't know, I'd say we're 40-50%. So our goal is to be 100% off-grid, obviously, to be self-sufficient. I do have solar. We're working on making a well. So we want to do all of these things on our homestead, and that's what we're building up to right now. We grow about 40% of our own food already. Next year, we plan on expanding that. We plan on building. So we'll get into that subject here in a minute. We plan on building. We plan on having growing, probably doubling our garden. And putting in a well for our own water. We're going to do a water catchment system, all that fun stuff. But the goal is ultimately to have this property as self-sufficient and off-grid as possible via solar, water catchment, and growing our own food.
Another thing with our broken food system is the produce that's in the grocery store, even organic, like I said, has been shipped usually thousands of miles across the world to get to you in the grocery store. And by the time it gets there, it's lost a lot of its nutritional value. And, you have no connection to that food whatsoever. So if you're growing it in your own backyard or you're getting it locally, you're getting that much more nutrition. You have a connection to it, and it's so much better for you. You know what's in your soil. You know what you put into it. And you know what you're putting into your body and your family's body.
Yeah, and I think one of the pluses to having a homestead is the community. We have a community of neighbors and people that we know and other homesteaders that live close by that are very like-minded, that are very capable of taking care of themselves and prepared. So having a community, not to say that there's not an RV community, because there is an RV community, and we absolutely love the RV community.
For sure.
But in the RV community, it's a lot of people that are traveling, that are in an RV, and being self-sufficient isn't exactly something that you take into consideration full-time RVing, because it's not really an option. So having a community is another thing that's extremely important to us. So that brings us around to reason number 3, and we honestly feel like this is what the Lord is leading us to do.
For sure.
We feel like this whole entire journey over the past 5 or 6 years
has been to get us here.
Has been just to get us right here. Like, we got to take this full-time RV journey just to get us right here. And I know so many people told me that, you're never going to be debt free.
Yeah.
You're always going to have a house payment. You're always going to have this. It's just not. It's not doable. It's not reality.
Yeah, you have to be millionaires to own things.
Yeah, but in reality, if you'll sacrifice a little bit and live
well below your means.
Well below your means, exactly. It's very capable. You're very capable of doing it, but you're not going to be eating out and going fast food and going out to the movies all the time and all this other stuff. Everything
from scratch, just about. It's
rare. Even when we were making really good money, we were still still to this day, driving older vehicles. We have 3 vehicles. One's a 98, one's an 04, and one's an 07. Like, we don't drive newer vehicles. We have older vehicles. It's all used, and it's all paid for, and that's what's important. This is what the Lord has led us to do. This is where He has been leading us all along to where we are right now. So in reason number 3, this is just where the Lord has led us. This is where we're at.
Yeah.
We feel like this is how we want to raise our children.
Yes.
To teach them to be sustainable, to teach them to take care of themselves, to hunt and to garden, and to be able to raise them in a godly manner.
Yes. Traditional values.
With traditional values, exactly. Family values. We plan on homeschooling our kids.
Yes.
We plan on, Taylor is a stay-at-home wife and mother. If you've seen some of our Instagram stuff, there's an Instagram reel that we have right now that's like over 500,000 views, and it's just based off of her being a stay-at-home mom, and the hate has been crazy.
The comment section.
If you get the chance, go check out our Instagram channel and just look for her video on being a stay-at-home mom.
The controversy there.
There's a lot of hateful people and a lot of comments going on about being a stay-at-home wife and how it's not hard, it's easy. And being Taylor's husband, I'll be the first to tell you that she busts her butt every single day.
A true stay-at-home mother and wife is way more than just cooking and cleaning.
Yeah. And we feel blessed. And like I said, this whole journey has led us to here to be able to have that opportunity for me to work and Taylor to be able to stay at home. When we got married, we discussed that that's what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
Taylor wanted to be a stay-at-home wife. I wanted to be the provider. And we wanted to be able to raise our children at home and be able to watch them grow up and be a part of their lives.
For sure.
And be in control of what they're taught and what they are not taught.
Yes.
I think that's extremely important nowadays because some of the stuff that is going into our children's minds is doing more harm than it is good.
Well, they're taking the innocence out of children, and that shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, that's another subject. We'll go into that subject some other day if you guys want to talk about that. So that is our 3 reasons as to why we stopped RVing and we started a homestead. Next video, we're going to give you guys a full tour of our homestead. We have how big is our garden?
50 by 75.
50 by 70? Is it only 50?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
50 that way and 75 that way.
Yeah, so we have a 50 by 75 garden. We have a 400 foot by 40 chicken barn on the property that I would love to turn into a greenhouse. And we have a really cool story on how we bought this property.
Yes.
So next video, we're going to show you guys the property and we're going to tell you exactly how we were able to buy this property debt free. Stay tuned. We got many more videos to come.
Make sure you like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell so whenever we post new videos, you can follow along with our journey.
Welcome to Mountaintop Homestead. God bless you guys. We really appreciate you sticking around for the video, and we'll see you on the next one.